Hello, my name is Aramis Ayala, and while I am a candidate for state attorney, Orange and Osceola counties for the August 30th, 2016 Democratic primary election, there's much more to me than just as a candidate. I have a life story, I have a history, and it has helped shape me into the person I am today running for office. I went to law school, and in 1997 I started law school, and 2 years later, in 1999, I was diagnosed with cancer. At the time I made it into the emergency room, I had 24 hours to live because I had a tumor that was suffocating me, and they had to do the emergency tracheotomy so that I could breathe. I set out of school that entire year fighting and battling through bouts of chemotherapy and all the things that it did with my body while I watched all of my classmates move on to the next year. It changed me forever, but it didn't change me in a bad way. It changed me in a way that let me understand purpose and a calling on my life. It let me understand the value of not just my life, but life in general. And most importantly, it reminded me of my calling and my duty to service. I had always, even as a child, been committed to service. That's what I wanted to do. In the 5th grade, I said I wanted to be a prosecutor. I wanted to just do right. I wanted to seek justice. That's what I wanted to do. But along the way, it's easy for people to try and steer you in directions that are lucrative, to steer you in what they see you as. But it was most important for me through that time to be who God created me to be. And that was a woman of service, a woman of integrity, and a woman of high degrees of intellect. So when I finished the chemotherapy, I knew at that time that upon passing the bar exam, I would do one thing and one thing only: serve the people. My first job out of law school, I became a prosecutor. I was there for a period of time where I learned a lot about the system. I was committed. I believed. And then I switched sides. I became a public defender, more service, direct service to those being charged with crimes who could not afford an attorney. And I loved my job as a public defender. I spent over 8 years as a public defender, in and out of jails, meeting with clients, training attorneys, being of service to the community as a president of multiple different bar associations, legal aid society. I was always committed to service. And then I wanted to come back to the state attorney's office. When I came back to the state attorney's office, I had a different perspective. It wasn't just dreams and hope anymore. It was experience and it was maturity. And I became an assistant state attorney here in Orange County. And I practiced law, and I resigned as a homicide prosecutor in February of 2016 to run for office. Running for office to me is simply about one thing: serving the people to make us live in a safer and a better community. That's the only reason. I've worked for people in service jobs, but I've never worked directly for the people. And it was time to expand, it was time to grow, and it was time to live out my commitment as an attorney to work directly for the people, to set the bar, to let people believe that a system can work in their favor even if the system wasn't meant to serve them directly. We all can live in a safer society. And when you understand what someone has been through, and how they value life, you're looking at that person. You're looking at someone who was 24 hours from death, who not only understands the value of my life, but the value of yours, your family, and your community members. So when a person has been a victim of a crime, that life matters. When a person has been suspected of a crime and they're going through the system, that life matters. When there's an attorney working on either side of the law, that life matters. I understand the value of life, and I understand purpose. I'm ready to not only walk in purpose, but to encourage those around me to walk in purpose. Because when we all walk in purpose, it changes the fabric of this county, of this state, and of this country. It gives us something that we can genuinely believe in. Past mere talking points. Past the image, past the politics, it becomes something very real. Because at the end of the day, when we all lay down, we are all accountable for our conduct on that day. And I am ready to be accountable to the people I serve, to my God who I serve. I'm ready to be accountable directly, following directions of the people, the voice of the people, so that we can all live safer. I'm hoping that the community will trust me to be their voice in the meetings when people are talking about equal justice for both victims and defendants. I'm hoping that people will trust me to speak loudly when it comes to issues of police brutality as well as law enforcement safety. I'm hoping that people will believe in me when they want to believe in a system that can be worked with integrity and ethics. I'm hoping that people will believe in me and vote for me, Aramis Ayala, on August 30th, 2016, because I have integrity, because I have experience, and because I value life.